ashes of Gato Yamaguchi. The ashes of Taro Seki.
Most honorable son, today, when my life, like yours, is rapidly turning to ashes, I write to you across the great bridge of the unknown to tell you how it is you have lived and died, for you did not know the manner of your living while you were living, or the manner of your dying while you were dying. But I knew, and I was silent. One's fate, the wise men tell us, is written in the heavens, but yours and mine, my son, were written in the streets of Tokyo in 1936. Said we had no part in the uprising, which was true enough as far as it went. You had not yet returned, and I was safe at home. But not far from the city, there was a friend who was not so safe. A friend named Takahashi. There were those who called him the last liberal in Japan. Certainly he was our last friend. And that morning, he stood alone.
So this traitor is asleep.
No, I'm not asleep, gentlemen. What is your pleasure?
My pleasure, master, is that you shall die.
All men die sometime, my son. Is there any particular reason why I should die tonight?
You must die tonight because Sato, Watanabe, Matsuo died tonight also. It is death for all foreigners, and you are now a foreigner, Takahashi.
Very well, gentlemen. If to want peace in Asia is to be a foreigner, then I must die a foreigner.
The whole nation mourned for Takahashi, but the uprising continued. Everything happened so quickly there was little time to think. The day Takahashi was murdered was the day you came home from America. I had not seen you for a long time, and when I first caught sight of you coming down the gangplank, it might have been a day out of yesterday that was overtaking me. I, too, looked like that once, the day I came home from America.
Chief Pop, it's good to see you. You haven't changed a bit.
Welcome home, honorable son.
I'm sorry, Dad. I forgot how they do things in Japan. It is a great honor to return, my father.
Okay, my son. But tell me, where do you get all this dad and pop stuff? Is that all the slang you picked up at Cornell? You know, son, I have grave fear you are really not in the groove.
Taro, have you forgotten?
Oh, sure, Dad. I did forget.
Grandmother. Grandmother, don't you remember me? It's I, Taro-chan.
How do I know it is the same Taro-chan? The Taro-chan I knew always was quick to light his grandmother's pipe.
I can fix that. Oh, no. I got into a very bad habit in America. I like to take my baths in private. Now, you'd better run along. Hail to thee, Cornell.
Yes, you are the same Taro. To have you home again is good, very good. And now maybe you stay home, eh? And take your place in the house of Seki, eh?
Well, the fact is,
Come, Taro. Don't tell us you want to start out to see the world all over again.
No, Dad, it's not that. But you see, I have plans of my own, and I'd like to...
Now. We will not talk business tonight.
But it's important, sir. You see, I don't want to rely on the family. I want to carry on...
Hush, Taro. You talk just like an American. In Japan, everything depends on the family.
To the emperor and the family and the house of Seki.
Well, good morning.
Yes?
Is Mr. O'Hara in?
Yes. Do you have an appointment?
Well, no, I don't have an appointment.
Sorry, sir. Mr. O'Hara never sees people except by appointment.
But
Sometimes he doesn't even see them when they have an appointment.
how does he feel about letters of introduction? I have a few nice ones here. Take your pick.
Oh, you will forgive me, please. You are Taro Seki.
That's right.
You are the gentleman from America.
Now, do you think I could see Mr. O'Hara?
Oh, of course, sir. But Mr. O'Hara is very busy now. Won't you sit down? He won't be very long.
Thank you.
Pardon, please.
Yes.
Is it true the buildings in America are as high as Fujiyama? Mr. O'Hara says so, but Mr. O'Hara says many things.
Well, they're almost as high as Fuji.
And the girls who work in the offices there, are they all as pretty as Ginger Rogers?
Boy, you certainly have it bad, haven't you?
Have it bad?
Well, you see, have it bad, well, it doesn't mean it's anything bad, you understand?
Oh, I understand. Have it bad really means have it good.
Nice work. You catch on very fast. Are you sure you've never been to America?
Oh, no, sir. But I often dream of it. Is it really as wonderful as people say?
Wonderful in what way?
Can everyone do just what he wants to do? And can anyone get to be president, whether he was born in a log cabin or not?
Well, Miss Shimomura, doesn't that buzzer work anymore, or do you want me to go back to sleep for another hour?
So sorry, Mr. O'Hara. This is Mr. Seki.
Oh, no wonder you didn't wake me up. Hiya, son.
How do you do, sir?
Come in. Thank you. Sit down.
Thank you.
You know, I was rather expecting you.
Expecting me?
Yes and no. Professor Johnson wrote me that you might drop by. And he says you're rather a smart engineer, too. But tell me, what does your father think about all this?
Well, I really don't know. I haven't had a chance to tell him yet.
Oh, I see.
But I'm the one who's looking for the job, not my father.
Sure. You know, son, your father's what we call big medicine back in the Indian country. And right now, there's a nice little bit of shooting still going on. The men that were shot were friendly to foreigners. Maybe your father wouldn't want you working for an American engineer, even a darn good one like O'Hara.
Oh, please, Mr. O'Hara, I'm on my own now. I want to build a few of the things this country really needs and build them right. Why, when I was a youngster, all I can remember is earthquakes, fires, and floods. I want to fight back a little. I want to build a few things that even a flood can't sweep away.
Sure is pretty to hear you tell it.
I'm sorry I amused you, sir.
Oh, no. It just reminds me of the things I said when I first came to Japan 20 years ago.
Then you will give me a job?
No. But I'll think about it. What are you doing for dinner tonight?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It's my first day back. I should dine with my father.
No, that's right. Well, suppose you have a talk with your father and then drop by and see me at my hotel afterwards, huh?
Thank you very much.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying I will. And I'm not saying I won't either.
Well, that's good enough for me.
You know, somewhere in your family, there must have been at least one Irishman.
Thanks. Say, what's your name? Your first name, I mean.
My name is Tama.
Tama? That's a pretty name. Very pretty.
In 1921, they stabbed Prime Minister Hara. 1930, they shoot Prime Minister Amaguchi. 1932, they get Inui, Barandan, Inukai. 1936, the works. Watanabe, Saito, Takahashi. A clean sweep. And they were all good men. Liberals, every one of them. And so are you, my friend. Say, aren't you afraid you might be next?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm neither for the rebels nor against them.
Oh, I see. If the rebels win, you'll play along with them. If they lose, you'll be the first to condemn them, eh?
What else would you recommend under the circumstances?
Well, if I were you, Tavares, I would get out and get out quick while there's still time. You haven't got a chance. Either you play their game or they will smash you just like they smash everyone else who stood in their way.
But you forget one thing. There is always the Emperor.
The Emperor? There is no Emperor. Just a nearsighted little man on a white horse. First the army wheels him around, then the navy wheels him around. Why, he hasn't any more chance than you have, or the people either. What a pity he isn't a sun god for just about 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, Boris. I must ask you to leave now.
Very well, I go. But remember what they say in China. Man who chooses to ride tiger must ride where tiger is going. Uh-huh. I thought so. The Son of Heaven is riding the tiger, too.
Oh, nonsense, Boris. The Emperor is most firm.
Sure, very firm. If they will lay down their arms and go home like good little boys, he will pardon them all. 3,000 of them.
But one cannot punish everybody. Besides, you must... Ah, there. You see? Special court-martial for all the leaders. At once.
No doubt. But will shooting a dozen officers bring back even one of those cabinet ministers?
No, Boris, it will not. But a man must stand somewhere. And I know where I stand now. I stand with the Emperor and the army. This is no time for mass hatred and recrimination. Justice must be done, of course.
I know. Make a good editorial in your paper tomorrow. But I like the one this morning a little better. The one you didn't write on Takahashi.
Hello, Dad. Have you got a minute you don't know what to do with? It won't take more than a minute. All you got to do is say yes. You will, won't you?
Well, you haven't given me a chance yet. What is it?
It's about a job, a wonderful job, the kind I've always wanted. With O'Hara, the American engineer.
O'Hara?
Yes, you know O'Hara, don't you?
Oh, yes, I know him. One of the best engineers ever to come to Japan.
Oh, then it's all settled. Boy, is this my lucky day. Thanks, Dad. I won't bother you any longer.
Wait, I didn't say yes. I only said I knew O'Hara.
But, Dad...
Listen, Taro, this is not America. This is Japan. Big things are happening. And you must take your part in them.
Well, engineering's a pretty big thing.
Yes, but not big enough. Do you know what this is?
Of course, it's an air map. Say, it's a swell one, too.
You did some flying while you were in college, did you not?
Yes, I had a pilot's license.
Good, then you will understand quite easily. Observe, my son, when the earth is spread out flat like the very air itself, and when there is no place in the world more than 60 hours from any other place, then Japan is no longer a little island at the end of beyond. Japan is the very center of the universe. For the best air lanes lie to the north, Russia, Europe, and North America. And we shall be masters of the north and of the east as well. That is quite inevitable.
Well, that's taking a lot for granted, isn't it?
Not when you know your geography. Observe again. This is the heartland. Who holds the heartland holds the world. For here is 1/4 of the Earth's surface and 1/2 of its population. Now take a good look, my son, and ask yourself, who is best fitted to hold the heartland? India, China, or Japan? Who, in fact, is best fitted to hold the very world itself?
But surely, Dad, you don't go for that stuff. Who would want to hold the world, even if he could?
There was a time, my son, when we used to say Asia for the Asiatics. That was before we knew our strength. The white man is not only in the minority here, he is in a minority throughout the entire world. And the time will come when we shall see who is the master and who is the slave. That will be a great hour, my son. It will belong to Japan, and Japan alone.
But this isn't the Japan I've come home to work for.
It is the only Japan there is. We must all rise with it or all perish with it. Yes? Speaking. Oh, of course, Excellency. Right away, Excellency. Sorry, I must go to the Minister of State.
We've still got a lot to talk over. How about dinner tonight?
I'm sorry, tonight I speak at the state dinner. But there is nothing to talk over. You will see, my son. You have no choice.
I still don't get it. Let's try again.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Lefty. Let's change our luck and play something else. You haven't got a pair of...
Clancy O'Hara.
Why, Sarah!
This is a surprise, finding you so easily, I mean.
Why didn't you tell me you were coming through Tokyo again?
Because, my sweet, if I had, you would have been miles and miles away. Or would
Sarah, what are you doing back in town?
Why didn't Clancy tell you?
No.
I've come back to give him my answer.
Oh, no, darling, a joke's a joke.
You say yes, you're crazy, Sarah.
So help me, all I said was, darling, some man ought to marry you. That's all I said.
I know, my pet. Every time I come to Tokyo, you tell me the same thing. And every time I leave Tokyo, you tell me the same thing. But, darling, you're not getting any younger. I don't think it's fair for me to trifle with your affections any longer.
No, darling, easy does it. Easy does it.
I'm going to make you the happiest man in the world, O'Hara.
Oh, darling, I am happy, very.
Oh, just wait till I've Mrs. Sarah O'Hara and you'll see. It won't be long now. I even have the license. We could slip away tonight.
Oh,
darling, you look so frightened.
oh, Sarah, you'll be the death of me. You know, you had me worried for a minute. All right, darling, what's it all about? What are you really after besides me, I mean?
Ever been to Peking, Clancy?
Peking? No.
Well, not, of course, the kind of place you might choose for a honeymoon, sweetheart.
All right, darling, let's not choose it.
But it's the next stop for the Tokyo Express, and I'm going to be on hand for my papers when the train pulls in.
I wouldn't bother if I were you, Miss Brayton. Really, I wouldn't. Forgive me, I didn't mean to eavesdrop.
You know, for a guy that doesn't mean to listen to other people's conversations, you do all right. I wonder how you do if you really put your mind to it, huh?
The truth is, dear lady, I can save you a lot of trouble. I'm just back from Peking myself. I assure you, Japan has no designs on China.
Oh, thank you, Max. Thank you very much. But you don't mind if I see for myself, do you?
Oh, please, I speak only as a friend.
That's just the trouble, Max. You speak as a friend, but you think as an enemy. Why don't you come out in the open just for once and be your own unpleasant little self?
If you please, Boris. There are some rules among gentlemen.
Sure, I know. I'm supposed to be a Russian newspaper man. You're supposed to be a German chemist. Whereas the fact is, I'm a secret agent. So is Max. But it's no secret. Everybody in Tokyo knows it. So I ask myself, why should we be so secret? Whom are we fooling, perhaps? Each other?
Will you excuse me, please?
Wait a minute, Max. I make you a proposition. Every night I mail a letter. Every night you mail a letter. I steam open your letter, you steam open mine. I spend half of the night decoding your stuff, you spend half of the night decoding mine. Now, wouldn't it be much simpler if we meet here every evening, 6 o'clock, exchange the information, then we got the whole evening free? Sensitive, isn't he?
Boris, what is going to happen in China?
Very simple. What usually happens when you take a bite out of the other fellow's apple? You wind up by eating the whole apple if you can.
I thought so. Thanks, Boris. Well, come on, Clancy. We haven't much time.
Hold on, where are we going?
Why, darling, have you forgotten? First you're going to buy me a dinner, and then you're going to marry me, and after that...
Oh, wait, a joke's a joke, but I...
I'm not joking, Clancy. I know it isn't very womanly and all that, but... Well, we've known each other for a long time now. And I'm going away for a long time, too. And so I thought... Well, there's no harm in a girl trying, is there? I wouldn't be around long enough to be a bother to you, Clancy.
But, darling, I couldn't do a thing like that. I've never done a thing like that before. Besides,
Besides what? What else have you got to do that's more important than sending me off to the wars with a wedding ring?
well, I've got to... Taro! It's about time you showed up.
I beg your pardon. I thought perhaps I was too early.
Oh, not at all, lad, not at all. I'm sorry, darling. Where we're going, it's no place for ladies. Not nice ladies, anyway. I'll explain what I say, huh? Very confidential. Come on, boys. Come on, Taro. Must be late. It's night of all nights.
Lefty, you think we should take Max with us?
You want to?
No, but I think we watch each other better if he comes along. Max, tonight you're going out with the big boys.
Thank you. I'm glad to join you.
I thought so.
Gentlemen, how many will it be?
3.
Not a chance, Boris. Max?
One, please.
Oh, an optimist. Lefty? Lefty.
Honey.
I could have sworn I heard a cat meowing. Forget it's just the music. Taro?
A cat's bad luck in a poker game.
O'Hara, isn't it a little bit unusual to come to a geisha house to play cards?
Where else could we go that Sarah wouldn't be sure to follow me, huh? How many, Taro? You Pat? No, he's Pat. Well, you open it. What do you do?
I'll give you all a chance. I check it.
No, he checks it. You know, sometimes I wonder why you ever came back home.
Sometimes I wonder myself. Perhaps I have been away too long.
You are unhappy, sir?
No, just a little puzzled about a lot of things.
The little girl next to you is not puzzled. To her, life is very simple. To her, life...
That settles it. Back in Idaho, we don't let a cat spoil a good hand of poker.
Put away that gun.
I missed him. I must be slipping.
Put away that gun.
All right. But don't rush me. Besides, it was only a cat.
Steady, boys. The only question before the house is Taro checked. Boris bet $2. Now, what do you do, Max?
Max can't do anything till he hears from Berlin. And we can't wait that long.
I'll raise you $1.
He raised $1. All right, Taro, it's up to you. $3 to stay. $5 limit if you want to raise. Well?
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering.
Come, Peter, Pooney, Pooney, come, Peter, Pooney.
Listen, my friend. Let the tourists sweep about the poor little geisha girls if they want to. You should know better. The geisha is the luckiest woman in all Japan. That is, if you can call any of them very lucky.
If you ask me, the geisha is very lucky. Much luckier, in fact, than she deserves. She sings a little plays a little, and she is very well paid for it by the few patrons she has to work for.
I don't like to agree with him, Taro, but he's right. If you want to feel sorry for someone, don't waste your time sighing over these geisha girls. You better save some of it for their sisters, who are sold into the yashiwari when they're too young to know what's happening to them. They have to count their patrons by the hundreds.
I'd save something for the thousands of young girls that are sold into the factories each year.
Better still, save some of it for the forgotten women of Japan. The wives and mothers who are the real drudges in this slave society, which men like your father are perpetuating. Save some of it for
Somebody here shoot gun, yes?
Yeah, I shot a gun. I shot at a cat. What about it?
May I see gun, please? Thank you. Just one or two questions, please. You have permit for gun?
Yeah, I got a permit for a gun.
Thank you very much. You also have permit to shoot cat?
Say, what is this anyway?
Patience, my friend. This is the thought control police. It will take much thought and much control.
You mean we're under arrest?
Gentlemen, if you please, I talk. You listen, yes?
Don't be an ass, Inspector. It really was a cat.
Shut up, Max. It's snobs like you that make Japan hard on foreigners. We'll get ourselves out of this if you don't mind.
Now, if you please, where is alleged cat?
How do I know? He got away. I missed him clean.
Then where is bullet, please?
Mister, you got me.
Bullet in cat, perhaps?
No. If bullet in cat, cat wouldn't have gotten away.
To whom did the alleged cat belong?
I'm sure I don't know. I never saw him before.
Uh-huh. And why was alleged cat shot?
Why do you suppose? Because I didn't like the sound of him.
Now, very important question, please. Is witness in habit of shooting cats?
It's been known to happen where I come from.
And then perhaps witness father also shoot cats?
You bet your life. And his father before him. We never let a cat break up a good poker game back in Idaho.
Gentlemen, excuse, please. Assistant informs me important mistake has been made. Alleged cat was not shot from here.
That doesn't make sense. I shot at a cat right out of that window.
Excuse, please. You are Taro Seki?
Well, yes, I am.
And your estimable father is Reo Seki?
Yes, that's right.
Gentlemen, no cat was shot. No bullet was fired. Many thousand pardons.
Well, I'll be a brass monkey.
I never realized my father was that important all of a sudden.
That's nothing. Lots of things are happening around here all of a sudden.
Well, let's get back to the game.
Yeah, let's play some cards. Come on.
Mr. O'Hara, supposing we drop the limit, I'll raise you $2 and bet you a year's salary against a year's job with you.
My, it's wonderful how interesting life can be. But tell me, lad, why didn't you come home a little bit sooner?
And so, my son, you started out to live your own life, forgetting that no one in Japan could live his own life for very long. I might have arranged matters otherwise if I had wished, but I knew that time was on my side if only I had a little patience. The only trouble was I had not quite counted on Tama. And Tama was a girl to count on.
Think you can improve on these plans, maybe?
No, I think it would be a very nice school.
I hope so. They seem like pretty nice children.
All children are nice, especially when they come up so clean after a swim.
Wait a minute. You could have lunch with me, couldn't you?
Do all American secretaries have lunch with engineer executives?
Well, that depends on the secretary. Besides, I'm not exactly an engineer executive. Not yet, anyway.
All right. I accept with greatest pleasure.
Fine.
But, please, could we talk very much about America?
All right, so we talk about America. Sit down. But I'd rather talk about you.
You can't talk about me without talking about America.
Really? Why?
Well, when I was 7 years old, the great earthquake hit our farm, and the American Red Cross saved us from starving.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Many families had to sell their daughters to the Yoshiwara to get enough to eat. I was just lucky. They took me in at the American school. Then I got a job in a factory. Then I started to work for Mr. O'Hara. And everything is so much better now. I can even help my family a little. And I owe it all to the Americans. They gave me my chance to learn how to read and write. They taught me how to work.
Pardon, please.
Yes?
Could I borrow a ruler, perhaps?
I don't see why not. Here you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why aren't you swimming with the others?
Oh, I have to finish this first. I'm behind in my geography.
Geography? That ought to be easy. What's the difficulty?
No difficulty at all now, sir. Have everything quite correct. But there's so much to learn about the Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal?
Yes. You see, I didn't know the distances between the locks, but I have it now. I shall not forget. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No, he will not forget. For his study of the world is a study of the world he one day must master. After all, it is a duty which he owes his ancestors, or so he is taught. You were not so quick to see this, my son. But everything in Japan is now done to a purpose, even the swimming, even the baseball. I don't think you ever quite realized it, my son, till the day you first took Tama to a baseball game.
Oh, Tama? How do you like it?
Oh, it's very exciting.
Yeah, first game just about over, but we're right on time for the second.
But what will Mr. O'Hara say? You didn't ask him for the afternoon off, did you?
Listen, Tama, in America, anyone can see a ball game on their afternoon off. The real trick is to see a ball game when it's not your afternoon off.
What's happening now?
This is where they kill the umpire.
Kill?
Hey, take him out! Take him out!
Take him out! Take him out!
Take it easy. I'll do the yelling for both of us. All you have to do is just hold my hand.
But if I hold your hand, I can't eat peanuts.
So you don't eat peanuts. Looks like the first game's over. Well, they're gonna parade both the teams during this intermission.
Hello, Taro.
How are you?
Now, don't tell me O'Hara's building a nice baseball stadium out here this afternoon.
No. Tama, this is the best baseball coach in Tokyo. Lefty, Miss Shimamura.
How do you do?
How's it going, Lefty?
Well, things could be a lot worse.
皆様の注意をお願いいたします。今日は日本一の青年たちが皆様の目の前でベースボールをやっている。
No, I guess they couldn't be much worse at that.
What's the matter?
Well, back in Brooklyn, it'd only be a lot of horseplay, you know, but out here, we'll just listen to them.
より大切なことでございます。皆様
Can you beat it? Telling them that baseball isn't just baseball anymore? They mustn't come here to enjoy it just as a sport. They must come here to enjoy it as a military exercise. Military exercise, my eye. Tara, what's getting into these birds anyway?
What were we up to? Oh, it was really quite simple. We were a warrior state, and we must behave accordingly. You, my son, were blind to much of this. But then, young men are blind to so many things when a young girl smiles.
Well, Tama, what do you say?
I would say you are teasing me again.
I would say it's the other way around.
Would you?
If anybody wants me, I'll be a member of the bar.
Well, just look at the facts, Miss Shimamura. We've been going together now for 16 months.
17.
Ah, so you've been counting them too, have you?
Of course not. I was only trying to correct you.
I'm not interested in having you correct me. After all, I'm not asking you to be my secretary. I'm asking you to be my wife.
Taro, I never know when you're teasing and when you're not.
The only way to find out is to say yes.
I think maybe we should dance a little.
一昨日、北京の付近マルコポール橋の付近
Well, yes or no?
What would your father say?
Look, darling, I'm not asking you to marry my father. I'm asking you to marry me.
Taro, you forget. In Japan, a marriage is something that even today is still arranged for one.
So what? Leave it to me, darling. I'll take care of everything.
Very well.
Well, what?
Suppose you arrange it.
Tama. You would say yes right here in the middle of the dance floor, wouldn't you?
Let's get out of here.
What's the matter? What's up?
As near as I can make out, there's real trouble in Peking, some place called Marco Polo Bridge. A case of who shot who first, I guess. The Chinese have demanded an apology. Brother, the lid is off that little teapot, but good.
Hey!
samurai sword dance. Let's get out of the way. Come on.
But you cannot get out of the way of a juggernaut, my son. It sweeps everything before it. Even you, my son, although you refuse to see it.
But, Dad, can't you understand? Tama isn't just any girl. She's the girl I love.
Please, Tara, try to face the facts as they really are.
I am. This is the girl I love, and this is the girl I'm going to marry.
I'm sorry, Taro. Tama may be a good girl, but she's not good enough for you.
Nonsense.
When you marry, you must marry well. And when your children marry, they must also marry well, or better if possible. For the family is everything, and one must build it as one would build up any business.
But I don't want that kind of life.
It is either that or nothing.
Well, if it's just a matter of gang for gang and clan for clan, we're back in the Middle Ages. It's a catch-as-catch-can between a few powerful families.
Well, my son, what else did you think Japan was today?
But, Dad...
We are still a feudal society. So many robber barons, if you will. We may use the tools of the 20th century, but believe me, our minds are of another day. On the bottom of the heap are the people, the patient millions who toil in the fields and the factories and are content to live on nothing. At the top of the heap are the great families who own the fields and the factories, the army and the navy. Yes, who own even the emperor himself. In between, there is practically nothing. A few tradesmen, a few professional men, and occasionally a puppet parliament, which we always dissolve at the first sign of trouble. There you are, Taro. You can either live at the top or die at the bottom. Which will it be?
Very well, then. I'll take my chances at the bottom of the heap.
You are Taro Seki?
Yes, what is it?
Special orders, China emergency.
I should have known that the Army would need engineers.
But, Taro, this is very good.
Is it?
In 6 months, you will be a commissioned officer. Besides, this should settle many things, Taro.
Settle some, but only postpone others. I shall marry Tama when I return.
And so I lost you, my son. Lost you to the war in China. My pride prevented me from writing you. Your pride kept you from writing me. It was almost a year later in one of the occupied provinces in the north when I first got word of you. Through Miss Brayton, the American newspaper woman.
Well, now, just a minute.
That'll teach you not to get in the way of a Japanese soldier.
Look here, officer, I want to lodge a Taro Seki.
How do you do, Miss Braden?
Well, I'm not so sure. For the first time in my life, I've been slapped in the face by a Japanese soldier, and I don't like it.
Please, Miss Braden, I saw the whole incident myself. I assure you I offer my heartfelt apologies, but...
But what?
Sometimes the men get a little out of hand. Sometimes it's better to ignore that which is unpleasant.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for the lesson. I suppose naturally there had to be a new etiquette to go with the new order.
See, Mr. O'Hara, they're really very nice to the Chinese children, aren't they?
Certainly seems so.
I'm glad. I never wanted him to go to China.
Now, don't worry. He's a good boy. He'll come through all right. If they don't keep him out there too long.
Maybe I should have married him before he went away. But I didn't want to marry him against his father's wishes.
Seki's a hard man to crack, Tama. But if anybody can bring him around, you can.
I'm going to try very hard.
What's this?
We don't use opium here.
Quiet, you. You will eat what we give you, or you will not eat at all. Do you understand?
What's the trouble?
No trouble at all. If one likes opium.
Opium. Run along.
Thank you.
I will not do that if I were you, Captain. These are difficult days, and one must not waste ammunition.
I protest, sir. I don't like this way of fighting.
I suggest, Captain, you do the roads your way, we do the fighting our way.
But you don't understand. I've taken about all I can take.
Steady, Captain. Either you will learn to harden yourself, or you will disgrace yourself and your family. You get used to it after a while. After all, it isn't as if these Chinese were a civilized race. They're just too many animals. As a matter of fact, we are quite good to them. You have heard, perhaps, what the Germans are doing to the occupied sections of Poland. A little opium is much better. It puts its people to sleep with some wonderful dream. And it permits us to hold a whole city with a mere handful of men. Never forget that, Captain.
Yes, sir.
Dear Taro, it is so good to hear from you. And I thank our gods that the great war in Europe is far away. Each time I have a letter from you, I try to see your father. I have not succeeded yet, but I shall never give up. If you will not write to him and he will not write to you, then I must do what I can to give you news of each other. May I see Mr. Seki, please?
So sorry, Mr. Seki not at home.
Oh, but he must be. I just saw him come in. And his shoes...
Sorry, Mr. Seki still not at home.
It is lovely here now. The cherry trees are in bloom and spring is everywhere. I thought you would like to see it for yourself, and so I brought my camera with me. It was not polite of me, I know, but they say the gods forgive many things to those who are in love. I hope it may be so, for I love you more and more every day.
Let me through! I demand to see the commanding officer. Let's go.
Well, this woman broke through the line, sir.
I'm an American newspaper woman. Taro.
You may go. Well, Miss Brayton?
Taro, please. I can take as much as the next person. I followed the Japanese around China for a good many years now. But this... Taro, how can you sit there? At least take a look out that window and see for yourself what's going on.
They're not my men. It's not my responsibility.
Dear Tama, someday the war in Europe will be over. Someday the trouble in China will be over. And then everything will be as it used to be, at least with us. The world may change, but you and I will never change.
Please, Are you sure Mr. Seki can't see me today?
I'm quite sure, Miss Shimomura.
But I have letters from Taro.
I don't think that will make any difference. He never speaks of Taro now.
Mr. Seki,
Yes?
I have letters. I mean...
Oh. Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Shimomura. I do not want anything. I only wish
Are
to...
you Tama Shimomura?
Yes, sir.
You are wasting your time. I have nothing to say to you.
But, sir, I have letters from Taro. I thought you might like to read them.
I'm not interested in what my son may choose to write to you.
I also have photographs.
I have no need for photographs.
I do not understand. Is it not good for a father to be proud of his son? Mr. Seki.
Please. Would you leave the letters and come back to see me tomorrow?
Sergeant? Everything is proceeding according to orders, sir. 6 blocks have been roped off, and all the men are being removed.
Very good.
Please, please, I have to get out. I'm looking for my husband. My baby's sick.
No exceptions,
please.
Sergeant. Every woman within this area must remain where she is. You understand?
I understand, sir.
Oi! Me!
Come here just to feed the goldfishes? You have another letter from Taro, eh?
Yes, I have another letter from Taro.
Well, what does he say?
Oh, I do not know yet. This time I waited to open it until I could share it with you, sir.
Tama, you are a very good girl.
Thank you very much.
There are times of late when I wish very much that you could marry Taro.
I understand, sir. But even to have the friendship of Taro's family is a great honor.
Honor? Do not be a silly girl. Run along and read your letter. What has honor to do with marriage? Tama will make him a very good wife, and that is all that matters.
But, Mother, there are rules.
Yes, 1,000 rules, and 1,000 ways to break them. All very legal, if you insist on being legal.
Well, Mother, I see again you have made up my mind for me.
Yes. It is all very simple. You will arrange for a friend to adopt Tama, and then her family will be as good as ours.
Mr. Seki. Mr. Seki. He's coming home. He's coming home at last. Oh, the gods are good. The gods are very good.
Mr. O'Harian.
Taro.
Tama.
Oh, Taro, Taro. It's been so long.
Well, Miss Shimomura, doesn't it? Taro, how are you?
It's good to see you back. Good to have you back. Come on in, come on. I know you want to run away with Tama, but come on, I want to talk to you.
Greetings.
Hiya, soldier.
My friend. Здравствуйте.
You are most welcome, my son.
It is great honor to return, sir.
Taro.
Gentlemen, I give you a happy day. The time has come when I must lose a secretary.
Tama. Softly, my son. O'Hara may lose a secretary, but I shall win a daughter.
But
no
you...
questions. When it comes to marriage, my son, a father knows best.
Wait. If we are to drink a toast, my friends, let us make it complete. I give you a gallant soldier. I give you his bride-to-be. I give you Reo Seki, our new minister of propaganda.
Why? Well, please, please, my friends, it is nothing. Boris makes it sound much more important than it really is. In any event, there's no great cause for rejoicing, considering the mortality record of cabinet ministers.
To the family of Taro Seki.
And to the children of Taro Seki.
And to their children's children. And to their children's children.
Very pretty. But you're forgetting something, aren't you? While you're about it, why don't you drink to the memory of the children Taro Seki murdered in China?
Sarah, darling, what's the matter?
That's what I want to know. I come back to Tokyo for the first time in 4 years, and I find you drinking champagne with... Well, I'd heard things had changed in Tokyo, but... Well, every man to his taste, O'Hara. If the party gets too dull, perhaps Major Seki's men will find another baby to bayonet for you.
Taro, I wouldn't do anything too rash if I were you.
Out of the way, please.
Oh, after all, she's a woman. Sometimes women make mistakes. By the way, did your men really bayonet a baby?
She's insulted His Imperial Majesty's army. Step aside.
Well, with pleasure, if you don't mind waiting. You know, I was sort of hoping you'd do something like that.
Tara, this is absurd.
He was doing.
Maybe not Tama, but he needs a lesson, and he's gonna get it.
Please consider my rank and O'Hara's age. It would be a public scandal.
My father is right. You and I cannot fight. But if you still insist on satisfaction...
All right, boy, I insist.
I suggest we meet at the officers' club. I will choose someone to represent me, and you may do the same for yourself.
Okay, it's a deal.
Taro.
Come with me, Tama.
Excuse me, please. I will see you later.
Well, boys, which one of you can stand up long enough to be my champion?
Oh, what does it matter? Matty O'Hara, I always hear you throw the most wonderful parties.
I think we all need a couple, 2, 3 drinks, don't I?
You said it. Come on, let's pitch in there.
I didn't know they grew them that big here.
Japan's full of surprises.
Captain Matsuda, representing Major Seki.
Boris Malakov, representing Clancy O'Hara.
Sergeant Kanakawa will fight for Major Seki.
Mr. Lefty O'Doyle will fight for Mr. Clancy O'Hara.
Shall we say, Mr. Malakov, 1 fall or 2 out of 3?
Hold on, I'm no wrestler. I'll fight any man hand to hand, but I'm no grunt and grapple guy.
But some adjustment will have to be made then. Sergeant Kanakawa is not a boxer.
Simple enough, Captain. But the wrestler fight is a wrestler, and the boxer is a boxer. That is, unless the American is afraid to pit his style of boxing against our art of wrestling.
Who's afraid? We're not afraid, are we, Lefty?
Shall we say 3-minute rounds? A fight to the finish. And a count of 10 if either fighter is knocked out.
Very well, but I will be the timekeeper. I have a very good watch.
What's he trying to do?
Don't worry, he's trying to scare you.
Oh, no, he's practicing for your neck.
Well, gentlemen, if you are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Time! Easy does it, Lefty. Easy does it.
Nice going, Lefty, nice going. Keep away from those feet.
Yeah, how do you
Keep
like
away
it?
from his hands, too. He's trying to chop you in the back of the neck.
The American fights well, eh?
Quite well. But fighting is like killing. One must do it very well or not at all. Yes?
Hi.
One, two, three.
Time! Time! Come on, Lefty, get up, boys. Come on. Come on, Lefty. Atta boy. Go. Atta boy. You'll be all right, kid. You'll be all right. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. That's it. Watch out for his feet. Watch out for his feet.
You better watch out for something else while you're about it. Right now, they're betting on which round he kills you in.
I don't like that.
You don't like it. Well, listen, pal. What I think
Maybe
about
you
it...
better
well-
put him away for good if you can, just to be on the safe side. And keep away from those clinches. Keep away from those clinches.
Oh, the clinches. Oh, sure. Just watch me. Time!
Nice going, Lefty. Nice going, kid.
Do you think it necessary to count him out?
Take him away. So he was gonna get me in the clinches, was he?
Taro, you put up a great fight. Something tells me we better get out of here, lad, and quick. Ichi, ni, san.
Oh, Lefty again.
Lefty, it's a pleasure to lose to a man with a hand like that. I always say, give me a man with a good right hand. Give me another drink, will you, please?
Oh, Clancy, I think you've had enough. Besides, you didn't do any of the fighting.
No, but I think what might have happened if I had.
You know, Lefty, between the two of us, I bet you we could have stood off the whole Japanese army.
Take it easy, Clancy. That guy was tough. Plenty tough. I was just lucky, that's all.
He's lucky.
Message for you, Mr. O'Hara.
Oh, for me? Thanks.
Let's go again. Ichi, ni, san.
Ah!
Sarah, excuse me for 5 minutes, will you?
Oh, Clancy.
No, sir, help me, Sarah. It's the real McCoy. Cover up for me like a good girl, will you? I'll be right back.
No place for ladies. All right, come on.
Ichi, ni, san.
You sent for me, Excellency?
Yes, sit down, O'Hara.
Thanks.
I wish to apologize for my son.
Seki, between you and me, there's no need for that.
Thank you, my friend. Tell me, O'Hara, did you ever think of making a trip back home to the States?
Sure, many times. I don't know. Somehow I just can't get around to it. I try, but...
I think this would be a very good time for you to go.
What are you driving at, Excellency?
I've made a great mistake. There will be war with America. There's nothing I can do to stop it.
Well, it's crazy.
Yes. I can see now things I never could see before. We are not fit to rule the world. We have come of age too quickly.
Now, look here, you don't think for 1 minute that you could lick us, do you? You know better than that. You've lived in America.
Please, my friend. Would I be so concerned if I thought Japan would lose? If that was so, there would be nothing to fear. No, it is because she will win that I am afraid. Afraid for the whole civilized world.
Now, wait a minute, Seki. I don't quite get it.
You have seen what Japan has done to my son, haven't you? Yes, I know I was responsible, too. I used to say, let's line up race against race, color against color. But I hadn't counted on this. I tell you, O'Hara, we're playing with the kind of fire no man in his right mind should ever touch. It destroys the victor as well as the vanquished. Today, my son is nothing more than a savage. Already he has asked for more active duty in the Air Corps. He wants to kill now for the sheer joy of killing. I would not wait too long before leaving if I were you.
I see. Well, goodbye, Seki. Goodbye for now, anyway.
Try not to hate Taro too much.
Mr. O'Hara.
Oh, hello, Tama.
Mr. O'Hara, I have the most wonderful news. Wonderful. And I had to tell Mr. Seki right away. I couldn't wait any longer.
Okay, Tama, take an extra half hour for lunch if you like.
Everything is so good today. Taro was given a holiday, and day after tomorrow we go down to the farm to see my father and mother. We will spend 2, maybe 3 days with them, because, well, this is the last time I shall see them for a long time. Because when I get back, I will be adopted into another family, and
then I start looking for a new secretary. Huh?
Please, I would like to apologize for what happened at the office yesterday. Taro was not himself. Taro would...
Tama, are you sure you want to marry Taro?
Of course. Oh, Mr. O'Hara, you will see. A few days in the country and he will be the old Taro again. You will see.
I'm not so sure that he deserves a good girl like you. But then what man could? Good luck, darling. Have a nice trip.
Mother. Mother. Oh, Mother, Mother. I'm so happy, so happy. But where is little sister? We have some special presents just for her.
Our little sister is on an excursion with class from school. Little sister will be back soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe day after. But please, come into my unworthy home.
It pleases you?
It is wonderful.
Taro brought it from China.
Music from a box. It's like magic.
Yes, but music from the air is wonderful, too. Look, Father. Look what we brought for little sister.
A radio.
Do you think she will like it?
Of course she will. And so will your father. Though now he will have no excuse to go to the village quite so often. He can hear all the news at home.
Little sister.
No, it couldn't be. You know how these excursions are.
What do you want here today? Go away.
All right. If you don't need the money, all right. I just came to pay you the rest of what I owe you.
Give it to me and go.
You do not like? Everybody very happy, everybody very pleased. Your daughter looked very nice. Prettiest girl in Yoshiwara. Sing very nice. Good girl. Good bargain. Here. 100. 120.
How could you? How could you?
It was fair bargain.
Father.
What else could we do? We wish to honor you and Taro Seki.
You have done us a great honor.
But this is my sister.
I know. She's made a wonderful sacrifice.
Oh, Taro, you have changed.
I'm proud of your family, Tama. I want you to be proud of your sister.
Then buy her back for me. You could, you know. We could find the broker and go back to Tokyo with him. We could bring...
Please, Tama. That would be absurd.
Very well, then. I shall buy her back myself. Somehow.
Steady, Tama. I'll take you back to Tokyo. We'll find your little sister and I'll buy her back for you. I promise.
Oh, Taro.
Attention, please. His Imperial Majesty's government announced this morning that a state of war now exists between the Japanese Empire and the government of the United States of America. The air fleet of His Imperial Majesty's government has already attacked and destroyed the fleet of the United States Navy at Pearl Harbor. All officers
Can't be true.
will
There
report
must
to
be
their
some
stations.
mistake.
All citizens will hold themselves in readiness for emergency service.
War with America? But we are poor now from the war in China.
But this is different. This is the White War.
Taro.
I'm sorry, Tom. I must report to my regiment at once.
But my sister, you promised.
This is no time for personal considerations. When the Emperor calls, the individual counts for nothing.
And so it came, my son, just as I expected. Out of the blue and without warning. There was great joy in Tokyo. But there was no joy in Tama's heart. She could find no trace of her sister anywhere. She could not even find O'Hara, for he, like many Americans, had been taken into immediate custody by the police, and no one knew where he was. Tama was alone in Tokyo. There was nothing for her to do except keep on walking the streets, as she had been for days, hoping against hope, until...
Please. Are you Thomas Shimura?
Yes.
You work for Mr. O'Hara, American engineer?
Yes. Yes, I do. Do you know where I can find him? Do you know where he is?
Come with us, please.
It would be wise to confess everything you know. The American engineer, he is a spy, yes?
No.
All his friends are spies, yes?
No, of course not.
Then what are these papers which we find in his desk?
They're only plans, building plans.
Exactly. Plans of many of the most important buildings in Tokyo.
Well, naturally. Is it his fault if he's the most important engineer in Tokyo? Is it his fault if he's built the most important...
Well, Miss Brayton, are you ready to confess that everything you wrote for your papers from China was a lie?
I wrote no lies. It was true, every word of it.
Yes, torture is an old art with us, my son, and we have much use for it these days. For while our victorious armies sweep through the South Pacific, there are still many enemies whom we must conquer at home. For you would not know of this. For you have asked for your transfer to the Air Corps, and you are flying now, somewhere over Burma. But while you fight to protect Japan, there is no one for the moment who can protect Tama or her friend.
You would like to sleep, yes?
How long have I been here? What day is it?
Really, Mr. O'Hara, does it make any difference?
Oh, I remember you. You're the one who asked all the questions the night Lefty shot at a cat.
Congratulations. You have an excellent memory, as far as it goes.
Listen, for the 1000th time, I didn't conspire against him. If you think you can torture me into saying I did, go ahead. You can't hurt me anymore.
No!
I'm no spy. Neither's O'Hara.
I'll give you one more chance. Either you confess...
I get it. This is the third strike. This is where you put me out of the game for keeps.
If necessary, yes. But slowly. Quite slowly. In case you change your mind.
All right. Go ahead. But it's too bad you boys can't fight all your fights this way. You'd be real champs with a trick like this. Oh.
Nancy,
Yes, sir.
how long have we been in this place?
No, darling, don't think about it.
Somehow, I seem to have lost all track of time since Lefty.
Listen, Sarah. Professor Hamachi is praying.
If only there are stars, I have my friends. But in the dark, I think upon my fate.
Those are not Shinto prayers.
No. Professor Hamachi is a convert. He is a disciple of the great Christian Kagawa.
Kagawa. I knew Kagawa. They put me in prison, too.
No, Sarah. No one knows for sure what happened to Kagawa.
If only there are
listen. He's saying Kagawa's prayer.
Fearless, I fly and fly unto the heavenly sky. Breaking all prison bars, my soul sleeps with the stars.
Yes, Hamachi's soul was with the stars. But yours, my son, was on a lesser plane. For when you came home from Burma, you never tried to see Tama. For Tama was now an enemy, they told you. And you were a hero. You were soon to head your own squadron. And so at the proper moment, you swore away the life of the girl you loved.
There is no question that in your mind, Colonel, that these prisoners have conspired against the government of His Imperial Majesty.
No question at all.
How long would you say they have been spies?
From the moment I first met them, in the spring of 1936.
The girl, Tama Shimamura. You were engaged to her at one time.
At one time, yes.
If you don't mind, Colonel, why was it broken off?
It was a matter of honor. A good soldier loves his country. A good soldier cannot love the enemy of his country.
Thank you, Colonel. That is all. The case is closed.
Will you step this way, Colonel, please?
Well, what else could I do? Besides, there was no chance for them. They were going to die anyway.
Yes, but they will die with honor, my son. And honor is the only thing that is left when everything else is gone.
Honor? How dare you talk to me of honor? It's an empty word. A toy for men like you to play with in your old age. There is only Japan now. And whatever is right for Japan is right for me. At least you taught me a lesson, and I've learned it well. The white man is not only in a minority here, you said. He's in a minority throughout the entire world. And the time is here when we can see who is a slave. For Japan is no longer a little island at the end of beyond. We are the center of the universe. We are the masters of the world. It is a great hour, Excellency, and it belongs to Japan, and to Japan alone.
Great.
Ready? Ichi, ni, son.
No.
You know, darling, sometimes I wonder why I ever taught you how to play the game.
Oh, don't you worry about that, my pigeon. Now, let me see. As I figure it, you owe me $5,000 plus $2,000 for yesterday.
You know, you might as well hold up a man that's take his money away like that. All right. Ichi, ni, son.
Clancy,
Yes, dear.
what will they do to us now?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
No.
No. Besides, I was just about to ask you to marry me.
Gee, things must be pretty bad.
Oh, see here, my good woman.
I've been floating in and out of your life for years, Clancy. And you've never been desperate enough about anything to ask me to marry you before.
Well, yes and no. Will you take the last of the O'Haras to be your lord and master?
You wouldn't fool me, Master, would you?
Oh, no, darling. I really mean it. By the saints, I do mean it. I'm in earnest. Holy Christopher, how do you suppose a thing like that ever happened?
Well, I don't know you, blue-eyed Irishman, and I don't care. I'm just going to say yes before you have a chance to change your mind, Clancy. Clancy.
Darling.
Hey, tumba, 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 timaya. Hey, tumba, 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 timaya. Deep, deep in a cellar. On the Budekaya.
Hello, my friends. I stand for open covenants openly arrived at. But if nobody knows I brought you this food, so much the better.
You're wonderful, but how in the world did you get in here?
Very simple. It's what our friends the Japanese call a fine example of co-prosperity. You see, for years, everywhere I went, I dragged Max along so I could keep an eye on him. But things have changed. He's on the inside track, and I'm on the outside. So now, everywhere he goes, he drags me along so he can keep an eye on me. He comes here to visit the commandant. I come here to visit my friends. Life can be wonderful at times. Well, my friends, to your very good health.
Thank you, Boris. Thank you very much. But there's no use pretending. This is our last night here, isn't it?
Well, let's not talk about that. I have very good news. But do not raise your hopes too high. Reo Seki said for me to tell you he hasn't forgotten. And when the time is right...
Maybe we're not alone.
What can he do if he tries to help us?
I know, but we must trust Seki. He will find a way.
Boris, listen. Do you hear what I hear?
Easy, Clancy. It might just be another test.
No, this must be the one. This must be the one the world is waiting for.
If it is, I won't even pray for Seki to get us out of here. I'll just pray for them to hit everything in sight.
I drink to that.
Be hundreds of them. Hundreds. All right, boys, come on. Let them have it. What are you waiting for?
outrageous. This is no military objective.
Every Nazi is a military objective.
No more room. Get in another car. Come. In here!
Is that Seki's car over there?
Beautiful night, a beautiful night.
Look, Pansy, he's not heading into town.
Of course. He's driving away from the city.
I guess Seki thought of everything, just about everything.
Will you stop the car, please? I want to get out.
I have passports and passage for 3 people on Swedish boat at Yokohama.
Thank Mr. Seki for me. But there will only be 2 passengers.
Tama, what'll you do?
We can't just leave you here. Please come with us.
Please. All my life I wanted to go to America. But that must wait now. My place is here.
What will you do here?
The Japanese people will never revolt. They've been held down too long.
I know there isn't very much I can do alone. But someday, perhaps, we will be delivered by those who are free. And it will be important that there are some of us here who understand the world outside. And a few outside who understand Japan. The Japan that is yet to be born. Oh, but you must hurry now. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Tama.
I shall be all right.
Bless you.
Good luck.
As long as there are stars, I have my friends. My friends.
They say, my son, that you have died for the Emperor. But to die without reason is to have lived without reason. Well, I do not die for the Emperor, a nearsighted little man on a white horse. I die for the repudiation of the Emperor and everything he has stood for. I die for the hope that somewhere, somehow, the people of Japan may one day redeem themselves before the eyes of the civilized world. But if that is to be, then the Japan that I knew must die with me. And the sooner the better, for one cannot build honor upon dishonor. To whatever gods there are left in the world, destroy us as we have destroyed others. Destroy us before it is too late.